Greetings, my good friends in the Diocese of Colorado Springs. We have come to the end of our Advent journey, and we are on the cusp of Christmas. And this year we have the honor of celebrating Christmas on a Sunday, so it's a unique year for us. You know that in the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, only Matthew and Luke tell details about the birth of Jesus. And I'd like to look at Luke's version of the birth of Jesus. It's the Gospel we proclaim at midnight Mass. It is full of the most details, and they tell us much about the story. So we begin. In those days, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that the whole world should be enrolled. A couple things. Ancient stories always began with the most important person, the emperor, the king, the ruler, and then the story would be about them. Well, this story is different. Luke is being subversive. He begins by mentioning Caesar, but we know the story is not about Caesar anymore. It's about this young couple trying to find a place to have their baby, and that baby will be the savior of the world. Also, we see that Caesar Augustus asked for a census of the whole world. If you remember in the Old Testament, God is not in favor of a census. David wants to do a census and God is mad at him and says, don't do it. Why is that? A census numbers people, and it's also used to tax people, often unfairly. That's how the king exerts his power. We're learning that with Jesus, a different kind of king is going to be brought into the world now. This is another subversive part, as this king's power is revealed in weakness and vulnerability and love, not in counting and holding power over other people. The story continues then that Joseph and Mary went to Bethlehem. While they were there, the time came for her to have her child, and she gave birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. Couple small details. She wrapped him in swaddling clothes. She's prefiguring the death that he will have when he's wrapped again in clothes and placed in the tomb. This child is born to be sacrificed. And this child will willingly sacrifice his life, his human life, so that he might save us and find a way to reunite us with the love of his Father. Also, we find that after being wrapped in swaddling clothes, he's laid in a manger. I always thought a manger was like a baby crib. A manger's in a barn, and it's a trough used to feed animals. So Jesus is laid in a place used to feed creatures. Again, prefiguring what Jesus will do at the Last Supper, what he does at every Mass that we celebrate. Jesus is food for the world. He's food for the journey. He is the life of salvation given to us. And so even as a newborn, he's laid in a place where people come to feed and to receive life. That's what his life will be about. And then we also find that there was no room for them in the inn. The word for inn is a strange Greek word that appears only one other time in the Gospels, and it's the same word used for the upper room where the Last Supper will take place. So there was no room for them in the inn now, but by the time Jesus is ready to go to the cross, there will be room there. As we come to celebrate Christmas, be ready for God to come into your life in a brand new way. Notice the details of the stories and enjoy the wonder and the glory of this beautiful Christmas season. God bless you.